an idea. So this one I'm just going to move whatever's up, move it to the right. I'm going to have this guy make a judgment call. So it needs to, so move left into the thing. If the thing I have is a 0, then I'm going to jump to well, no, I'm sorry. If it's not a 0, so if it's greater than 0, I want to actually send to this value. If it's 0, I want to, in this case, I'll label things. So I want to send 1. So this thing. So 1 is going to be move up. So the value from up here, which I know is garbage, and move that to nil. And then move the thing in my hand to the right. If it's not this, then I want to move up into my hand. No, actually, I don't even need to do that. I move what's up to the right. And then jump to the start. So what this is saying is that I'm going to take what's from the left, look at it. If the thing that I have is a 1, if it's not 0, then if it's not 0, go down here, move the thing that's up into the trash, just ignore it, and then move the thing that's in my hand, which is, I could just change it to a 1 in this case, but what's in my hand, move it to the right. And then loop back up. So I think that should work. I could do the same thing here. Well, actually, no, here I just move up to the left. Now here I'm going to receive it from 3 spots. So let's start with this. I'm going to say move from the left into my hand. If it's good, so really it's not even 1 if it's I mean, if I really wanted, I could have these guys merge together here and go down. These guys merge together here and go down, and then merge again. But let's see if I can try and fit it all in here. So if it's over here, then really it's, we'll see if the program freaks out. So it's not so much 1. Let's relabel it as left is the label. So if it gets it from the left, and that's greater than 0, then left is what we want. So we can say jump to left. So here I would say take the thing from the up and put it in nil. Move the thing from the right into the nil. Take the thing from my hand and move it down. Okay. Otherwise, I want to take the thing from up so if I got to this point, it's not the left. I want to take the thing from up and then move it in my hand. If that is good, then I want to move to up. So let's make an up, which is going to be so at this point we already have done left and we have up. So we just need to take the thing from the right and throw it away. And then move the thing from my hand, which is going to be 3 if I'm here. And then move that down. And then loop back to the top. So now we have some issues with running out of... So this needs to have a jump as well. Let's see if we can fit it in. So jump back to the start. If that didn't happen here, then take the thing from the right and move it down. So I think we fit it. And then take whatever I got from up above and move it down. This may or may not work at all. Okay. Okay. So it was unhappy with, well, here, we'll speed it up. So it was right some of the time, which is interesting. It seems sporadic, though. It's interesting. I was expecting that, like, certain values would be wrong. Okay. Can we jump to... All right, let's stop this program. We want to add a breakpoint here. Right, so zeros, okay. Here we have zeros, that's still fine. Here, move left. Why does it stop here? Interesting. 4, so the 4 got through okay. I'm confused of why, when I'm seeing this, none of these values seem interesting. Okay, run again. Run again. I guess everything... Okay, so this one's actually passing a 1. So this is the new value that came in? So this one I think might alert as being wrong. So I sent 3, but that was the previous values. That doesn't really help me. Huh, okay, how do I debug this in a different way than I'm doing right now? So this is what's pending to send. Okay, so they have 1 here. All right, let's stop. What we want to do is we want to see what values are being passed to this. So we really maybe want to stop here at the start. So let's go. So nothing's happening yet. Here, move 0 down. I wonder what the question mark's about. Trying to figure out, I haven't really debugged anything like this. Haven't had anything this complicated. Okay, so here we're still, so at this point we're expecting that a 0 will go through, so I think that's fine. This one we're expecting that a 3 will change, right? So 3 has changed, which is this. 4. What is... Oh, it's on a delay. Interesting. Okay, so so at this point I'm expecting a 4. Is that where it gets unhappy? No, it's happy with that. So the first one that freaks out about is this. So when this thing changes here, maybe it's when it goes from a 1 to a 0. So let's see if that kind of checks out. So this is 3. So if it is equal to that, it's fine. So move a 3 down. Wait, if it's... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jump if it's fine. So if it's fine, it gets to here, which sends down a 1. If it's not equal to that, it moves down a 3. And then This is just supposed to set the register. So this one should send down a 3, I would think. Wait a second. So when it goes from this to this, it's expecting me to say 0. I'm saying 3 because 3 changed. So let me look at the instructions again. Read from them. Write the input number when the value goes from 0 to 1, not when it changes. Okay. Right. So this is if it didn't change. Then it's fine. What we want is it's fine if the value is, so I'm subtracting. So if it goes from 0 to 1, meaning that the number is greater than 0. No. If it's, well, if it's greater than 0, that means we want to output a 1. So not fine. Changed. So that'll be the new thing. So if it is greater than 0, it means it's changed. So it went from 0 to 1. So if we, I guess I will get rid of everything else because it's going to change a bit. So and we don't have any room. So changed is that we want to move 1 down. And then we want to, I'll have to figure out how I'm going to get the value back. Otherwise here, we want to not, I guess we want to move 0 down, saying nothing changed, or at least it didn't go from 0 to 1. And then we want to get the old value back into our hands. So we did a save, so we can just do a swap. And then here, oops, swap. Here we have send a 1 down, and again we want to get swap. So really, if we just instead do a swap here, and then we can do jump 2, which is going to say skip this command. Okay, so we do a swap here. So jump 2. Okay, so I think this might work. This swap will take the thing from the backup that we've saved here. No, that's not right because it's the old value. Darn. Okay, so so here we know that it's a 1. Or rather, we know it's a 1. So we can take, we also can move 1 into our hand. And then what? So here we know it's a 1. We don't know. Save, subtract. So at this point, we don't know if it is we don't know if it's a 0 or a 1. So if the value is, so I mean the other options here is that it's 0, which means that it didn't change. So what's in our hand is fine. Right. Okay. So we can, let's add a jump point here, which is send 0. And then if the value is 0, equal to 0, that means that what's in save, that means the value didn't change at all. Okay, so we can just take if it's send 0. It's just so complicated. All right, so here we will say that no change. And then no change is swap. Otherwise, let me try to make some code that makes a little bit of sense first, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay. So I think I have this. So first thing I do is I take the value that I have in my hand and I hold on to it. I save it into back. And then I subtract what's above. If the value is greater than 0, it means it changed. So it went from 0 to 1. So 0, no. Because we want to know if it went from 0 to 1. And 0 minus 1 is negative. So it changed. If it changed, so let's jump down there. So if it changed, we want to send the number 1, in this case, over here it's going to be 2, 3, 4, down. And then we know that the value we just got is 1, so we can just set that. Otherwise, if the value is greater than, okay, so here. So we know that if it didn't change, I mean, it might have changed, but if it's not the change we wanted, then we want to send 0 down. Say, nope, nothing good here. Then, if the value in my hand is greater than 0, which means that it was 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0. Let me think. If it was 1 minus 0, so if the original value was 1, and then we subtracted 0, so the new value is actually 0. So we need to set 0 here. Interesting. So we don't want to set 1, we want to set 0. Okay. So here we want to set 0. How can we do that in this space? These are really small program windows. So we want to set 0. Otherwise, then if that means that otherwise it was 0, like the difference was 0. So then the thing that we stored in back is actually also the new value. So we can do that. Now set 0. Oh, send 0. But we're not actually using send 0 anymore. Yes, okay, good. Now we have space. Look at this. So we can do set 0, which is going to do this, and then go back to start. my brain hurts. Okay, so let's do this, and we want to change this to be 2, and we want to change this to be 3, and this code may even work or not. And 4. And the rest of this might be okay. Oh, well, let's not put in the step thing. Let's just run it first. Oh, let's now also not put in this step thing. And let's just run it. Okay, thank God. I'm sure this isn't going to be the best code, but it's functioning. Okay, we'll just speed it up. Okay, so, aha. So I actually have the same number of nodes. I was wondering if that was going to be the case. Way more lines of code. Interesting. And then more cycles. Okay, so let's go back to edit this. So how can we reduce the number of lines of code? I could take... Aha. I have an idea. So the numbers are going to be either zeros or there's going to be possibly a number. So I can actually just do this. Here, I'll start out before I remove everything. I think I can move left into my hand. Add up. Move right. Because what it's going to do is, suppose both of these are 0. The number 0, pass it on. Suppose that the number is 1. So it's 1 and 0, 1. Or 0 and 2, 2. And we want to pass whatever it is over. Can I easily remove entire lines of code? Not really. Interesting. Well, this... Okay, there we go. Okay, great. Oh, you want me to be more specific. Okay. Do you have to have the comma? Is that the comma required? Anyway. And then here, we can do the same thing. Let's just remove everything. So now I'm wondering if I can... There's no room in here, really. But I'm almost wondering if I could somehow combine that in here. I guess not. No, I'm not sure how I would do that. So now I want to move left into my hand. Move up. I'm sorry. Then add in up. Add right. Move my hand down. And play. Yeah. Okay. So we are at instruction count. Oh, still more. I don't know if my cycles changed or not. I don't know what this graph even is telling me at all. Okay, so still less instructions, but we're closer. So let's continue editing. So we've improved this whole line here. Can we change this? We did a lot of cool things to make this work. Let's see if we can do something with the thing in our hand. So if we come through and we subtract up, well, he wouldn't necessarily yeah, I guess I'm okay. Never mind. All right. How can I improve this? I'm sure there's got to be a way, right? So there's a couple jump commands. Is there a way that I can reduce those? So let's move this down. Set 0. I don't know. I don't know how I'd improve this. We'll keep it like this for now. It's pretty good-ish. Yeah, I'll have to come back to this and make it better, but that's good for now. My brain's fried. And on that note, this is the end of the episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.